Hey, YouTube, what's going on? It's your buddy Crazy Kembe. And for those who are curious, I am naked. No, I'm not naked, but but anyway, how's everybody doing? I'm doing all right. A little busy lately, but I'm back. But anyways, binary domain. What is binary domain? This is binary domain. Okay, well, binary domain is a game I was curious about. It actually had my interest for quite some time now, and a few weeks ago I picked it up. I played it, I finished it, and well, I guess I'm going to give you a little review or whatever. But so let's get into that. Binary domain. Binary domain. Guys, let me tell you something. I just love the sound of that word. It's such a weird word. Okay guys, let's say it together one last time. Binary domain. So anyways, the grand tale of this game takes place in the far future in 20 AD. 2080 AD, that's what I'm trying to say. Of course, a lot of things have changed in the world. One thing that has changed are that robots make up a huge percentage of the labor force. Now what really sets this game up is this. One day a human comes and appears, but he's not really a human, he is a robot. But the crazy thing is that he does not know he's a robot. After that, more and more of these robots are found to be living among humans. They are then referred to as a hollow child or hollow children, whatever you want to call it. So basically this goes against certain laws and regulations. Apparently it's illegal, and there's one man behind it who happens to live in Tokyo. Now this is where you come in. You play as Dan Marshall. What a big strong American name. Part of a small infiltration crew known as the Rust Crew. Tagging along is your buddy Big Bull, a big black guy from Harlem. I'm not making that up at all. Along the way you run into other members of the Rust Crew, and they really went with some stereotypes. I know I don't want to spoil it for you. It's really worth checking out for yourself. But more importantly, and this actually took me by surprise, the story is actually pretty good. When I play a shooting game, I only come to shoot things because the story is usually an afterthought. Look at the other shooting games like Gears of War, Halo, Resident Evil, and I like a little bit of controversy, so let's throw in Mass Effect to the mix as well. But anyway, the story really surprised me. It's like a mix of Terminator, I, Robot, which is a very cool film. I see some Blade Runner in there, a little bit of Ghost in the Shell, and some other stuff that really escapes my mind right now, but I honestly enjoyed it from start to finish, and it really enhanced the gameplay of this thing.
Put down your weapons and surrender. Repeating warning. Put down your weapons and surrender. You have failed to comply with the warning.
Now, speaking of gameplay, when I first started playing this, I thought it was a Gears of War knockoff, but that's not the case here entirely. Well, this game is a third-person shooter with a linear chapter format. Before each chapter, you get to choose who you want in your party. Each of your allies has different skills and expertise, but it doesn't really matter as your allies are not that useful, and it always comes down to you to do all the heavy work, of course. In this game, you fight robots, and I think that really adds to what sets this game apart. The robots can take a lot of hits. It's actually recommended you shoot off the legs, as that slows down their mobility, and from there you can shoot off their heads or just shoot whatever you want. But if you shoot their head off, the robots will go crazy and attack their own allies. It really adds a nice element of strategy. The enemy AI in this game is quite good, and they put pressure on if they can, they even flank your position. It's a shame your team member AIs are not as effective or good as the enemies. Another thing I didn't really like about the game are the controls. They feel too loose and slippery. Aiming is not as tight as it could be, but eventually you will get used to it. The game has some type of moral system called the trust system. Basically, the more trust you have with your teammates, the more likely you will listen to you. Isn't that like in Mass Effect? I don't know, but you gain trust from answering their questions, listening to their suggestions, and also from killing enemies effectively. You really have to go out of your way to not get trust, as it was very easy to get, but also it is irrelevant, as like I said before, your teammates are not too useful. Now, the command system. You can issue commands with the controller, or you can use a mic to give commands. such famous commands such as charge, cover me, fire, and regroup. The only one I ever used was fire because in my opinion that's the only thing my teammates should be doing, shooting at the enemy. But the campaign is very enjoyable. It's an action-packed roller coaster from start to finish. I just wish it was a little bit longer. Now this game also has an online mode, but let's just say that the lobbies are a bit vacant. The only mode I could get going was team deathmatch. All the other mode, the lobbies were empty. What would you expect? There's only like 20 people playing online. But anyways, the game online kind of reminded me of Metal Gear Online, which was the online mode for Metal Gear Solid 4. There's like 5 classes you can pick from with different specialties and weapons. So how it works is that you get points from killing or assisting in killing members of the opposite team, and you can use those points to purchase weapons and gadgets. So if you're killing a lot, you can easily get the best weapons. It's funny because the single player is so fast paced, while this is slow and more tactical, team based. Well, looking at all the empty lobbies in this multiplayer mode, you're not going to be, let's just say you're not going to be going here for the multiplayer. Now, the graphics look nice from afar, but when everything gets close up, everything looks kind of fuzzy and like low res, but they look good for the most part. The voice acting is actually very top notch, which is a surprise. So, you know, honestly, this game is a surprise. It's pretty good. There's nothing groundbreaking, but at the same time, nothing really wrong with the game. Yeah, some things could be better, but maybe they can improve these things in a sequel or something. But I doubt that might happen as the game probably doesn't sell too well. But anyway, guys, I'm out of here. Peace.
Right, that leg's out of commission. We won't be able to move for a while. This is
what? Some kind of black market?
Kinda. You can get anything you want down here.
So I see.
Including crabs.